This item didn't seem like much at first. In fact, at first glance, it looks like a dime a dozen wooden box your grandmother once used to store things like bobby pins or fancy soap. But this wooden box goes back further than bobby pins. In fact, it goes back even further than your own grandmother. The small box, which can fit in the palm of your hand, is engraved with the year 1785, almost 235 years ago. Still, its age isn't what makes this box so special. The truly captivating characteristic of the box is the numbers engraved around the lid. They made for a beautiful design, but as it turns out, they were much more than just decoration. When Antiques Roadshow viewer Paul Wiskin started the episode featuring the box, he figured it would be like any other. Except it wasn't. As soon as the mysterious box appeared on screen, he was intrigued. The numbers stood out to him. Meanwhile, the box's owner and Antiques Roadshow experts answered the easy questions. It was a Georgian cosmetics box, and, as the tradition of that romantic time period goes, it was probably a gift given from a gentleman to his lover. Moreover, the box was purchased for around £20, aka $30, by the owner's father. That was all they knew about the box's lineage of owners. Then they looked to the outside of the box, where a romantic message was clearly engraved. "The ring is round and hath no end, so unto my love, now my friend," the engraving read. What left even the Antiques Roadshow experts stumped, though, were the weird assemblage of numbers on the lid of the box. The said Antiques Roadshow expert, John Baddeley, was able to give some light as to the box's origin. He knew it once held rouge or makeup patches, and John was even able to confirm the name of the original gift giver. The name was J. Jones. As for the numbers, John was flummoxed as everyone else was. "You've brought in this tiny little box with so many questions," John told the owner. He was forced to say something no historian ever wants to say. "I think with this one I'm going to have to be at a bit of a loss," he said. He estimates the box's value at $1,500, adding that it had a sentimental value. Everyone wondered if cracking the code could add to the monetary value, but there was no Rosetta Stone to reveal the answers. There was Paul, though, who, back at home, had hatched a plan. "As soon as I heard him say, 'We can't solve it,' I thought, 'I bet I can,'" Paul said. As confident as he was, the retired engineer had his work cut out for him. His natural affinity for numbers and his love of crossword puzzles made this too much of a challenge to resist. As Paul said, he hoped that his lifetime of amateur code cracking would help him solve the puzzle once and for all. The grandfather created a system to match the digits with letters, starting with double eights he assumed represented L's. From there, his complex number system grew. J. Jones kept floating into his mind. What was he trying to conceal? Even after 5 hours of work, Paul was unconvinced that he had cracked the code. He had a smattering of words, including small and love, but he couldn't figure out what the message truly said. Days went by, and Paul was still stumped. Until a few nights later, that is. He woke up with a click, as he said, and realized the word that had eluded him. As a whole, the message read, "The gift is small, but love is all." Finally, cracking the code was a triumphant moment for Paul, but he was modest about his accomplishment. "It was a beautiful challenge thrown in my lap," he said, and he even proclaimed himself as a bit of a nerd. The fact that the message could be cracked at all was important, since secret codes are pretty much created to be broken. This certainly brought to light even more questions about the lovers who first exchanged this small gift. The biggest question is, why hide the lovely message behind the code? The only answer that made much sense in this case, or at least the answer that had the juiciest implications, was that the couple was in an illicit relationship. When Antiques Roadshow was informed of Paul's discovery, they dubbed him a genius and estimated and added 10 to 20% to the monetary value of the box. Still, John thinks that the box's significance goes beyond money. He feels that the cracked code adds even more to the box's incredible story, with a backstory involving mysterious codes, centuries of secrets, and possible illicit lovers. The vintage box spun quite a mystery.